Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another week in GTA Online. This week, the Sultan Classic is available for a small price of $1.7 million. If you want to get it for a smaller price, for the trade price it is of course, for $1.3 million, then what you have to do is you need to unlock it through Eddie Tao, which is the driver in the Casino Heist. Now, as far as I'm aware, it's been a little bit buggy. Sometimes you get a Kuruma, sometimes you don't. At least that's what this was, at least last week. Maybe with the Tunables update, they've unlocked it and it shouldn't be buggy anymore. But either way, that is how you can unlock him and you will save yourself a couple $100,000. Speaking of the Casino Heist, if you do decide to play that this week, you'll be getting a 25% additional bonus for your earnings. What does this result in? This results into, for example, Gold on Heart paying out $3.1 million if you manage to take everything. Personally, I did a quick test run to see if this was actually real to begin with, because I couldn't believe what was going on, because the Casino Heist has been out for like a month, but it is indeed true. We played with 2 players and we left 1 card because we didn't have enough time for it. And even then, Bear, who was helping me out here, and thanks again Bear for that, he took 85% because I was feeling generous today. He walked away with $2.3 million, because not only is it 25% increase, your crew cuts are also sliced and diced with 50% too, as well as your setup cost. Now the setup cost itself isn't that big of a deal, but if you're gonna take off 50% of the crew cuts, meaning that for example Avi Schwartzman normally takes 10% but now only 5%, which is a huge difference if you look at the grand scheme of things. Typically, with the usual best way to set it up, you're only going to be paying $390,000 compared to the about $600 that you would normally do. So that is something that is quite significant in the amount of money you're going to be saving, on top of the fact you're also going to be earning. So with that in mind, if you need money this week, it's a really good idea to start doing the Casino Heist, because you can make some serious money. Now this does mean that you could decide to also buy some setups as well. However, I did the math on this. Buying every single one of them is not going to be worth your time or your money. You could do 1 or 2, because the way it works, it starts with 70,000, then it goes to 100,000, then 150, 200 and 250. If you were to do every single one of them and just be like, screw it, I'll just buy all the optional missions, you would have to spend $770,000. And that also means that you didn't even do Dog and Shipments, because that is the only optional mission that you're not able to purchase. So is that worth it? I personally don't think so. If you're pretty decent at the game, you can knock this out in an hour and a half. If you're really taking your time, it should only be taking 2, and the finale itself is only going to take you 20 to 30 minutes at most, which means that if you were to split up the money and you would be getting lucky, you'd be walking away with like $1.5 million each if you're playing with 2 players. So definitely go knock out some heists, and if you need some tips and tricks on how to complete them, I'll leave an eye in the sky that will guide you to a playlist of all kinds of tips and tricks videos that I have done on them. But if you're someone that doesn't like heisting and is tired of it and wants to play something else, there's also some double cash and RP in some select races, which is the usual race series with, races like Grass Route and that sort of stuff. Not overly excited and not that great for money and RP. And also King of the Hill, which I personally really like playing. It's pretty decent for money and RP as well, especially RP is pretty good. So if you're looking to rank up this week, then that could be something worth doing. Also, if you're someone that kind of struggles with trying to find people to play the Casino Heist with, I regularly do things on my Twitch stream where I just help out viewers getting their Casino Heist finales and completing them. So if you're interested in that, there's a link to my Twitch page in the description down below. Give it a follow, turn on notifications so you can see whenever I do one of those streams. Definitely will be doing those frequently on all platforms this week, because well, it's the week to do it, really. The opponent vehicle for this week is going to be the Everon, so if you want to get lucky and win yourself a brand new, pretty nice and pretty decent off-road vehicle, then this is the week to do it. For discounts this week, there's going to be 25% off all the arcades, all arcade games, the Master Control Terminal and the Drone Station, as well as the before mentioned 50% off Diamond Casino Heist setup cost and crew cuts as well. For vehicles this week, there's going to be 40% off the Turismo Classic, the Novak, the Osiris, the X821, 35% off the Slagen GT, the Gauntlet Hellfire, 25% off the Buckster Burrito, the Bucksville, the one that you use inside of the Casino Heist, the Komoda, the Vagrant, and the Retinue Mark II. Footage Prime, at the time of recording, there doesn't seem to be anything on discount. If there is, I'll leave a pinned comment down below. But of course, the additional 10% is going to be in effect this week, which probably could mean that the crew cuts are going to be even cheaper for Twitch Prime members. Pay to win! Jokes aside though, if you're not yet familiar with Twitch Prime and you want to know more about it, I'll leave an eye in the sky that will get you to a video they have done on it. And if you already are an active Twitch Prime member and you're not yet subscribed to any of your favorite streamers on Twitch, by all means feel free to consider me by clicking the link in the description down below. And if you want personal advice on discounts this week, personally I'd say, obviously, you should be getting yourself an arcade if you don't already have one. 25% off and getting the one in La Mesa is definitely going to be your best bet. The reason for that is because after the first heist, you're already turning a profit. Especially with the bonus money that is currently going on, it is obviously going to be your best purchase if you don't have one yet. Another thing that is definitely worthwhile if you don't have that already or are waiting for a discount is going to be the Master Control Terminal. To give you a quick summary of what it can do, you basically have one giant computer where you can do every single business from that you wish to do so. From biker businesses all the way to your bunker, it is all going to be possible. So if you're someone that has a lot of businesses and just simply wants to have one central hub to do everything from, the Master Control Terminal is definitely a must-have. I'm a big fan of it, and if you purchased it yourself, I'm sure you're going to be one too. In terms of vehicles, I personally would say there's a few options for you to pick up. The Turismo Classic, obviously the best sports classic car within the game, 40% off and 50% with Twitch Prime is definitely a very nice discount, as well as a Slagen GT and a Gauntlet Hellfire, two very fun vehicles to drive. Not particularly something that you're going to be winning an awful lot of races with if you're racing against people who are using the top cars in the class, but overall fun vehicles. If you're looking for something that will beat the competition, the Vagrant is going to be for you. The 25% off should net you a pretty nice discount, especially if you got the trade price that you can unlock through the Casino Heist. And the premium race this week is going to be crossing pass locked to Sports Classics. Now, if you happen to already have a Turismo Classic or you're picking one up this week, obviously that's going to be your best bet to use within this premium race. And the time trial for this week is going to be Elysian Island 2, and the RC time trial is going to be Cemetery. Now, of course, as always, a quick and easy $100,000 if you manage to beat them. And that was it for this one. Thank you also very much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe for more, and I'll see you all later.